Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm doing old hoes. Yeah, over on my YouTube channel, I am uploading old episodes of Herb Oracle, and so I'm doing some old hoes over at my YouTube, and I was doing the math, and I was like, dang, if I did 5 hoes a day, I could probably catch up with myself for the new year and then actually be posting the current Ho podcast pretty much in real time as I do it. So anyways, I'm just sitting here figuring out if it's worth it, if it's worth the effort of doing 5 hoes a day. And of course I'm thinking it's funny because there's so many similarities. I'm sure a lot of my dude listeners could maybe relate right now, because one, that's a lot of work. 5 hoes, that's a lot of work. Will I know which one's which? Will I get confused? What's your name? Which one am I on? What number am I on? And it might be exhausting. And I was like, why do you even feel like you need to do this? Do you know, one of those things, I just want to get them uploaded to my YouTube. Do I think I'm gonna croak or something? Am I trying to or do I just want to get the hose done? So anyways, good morning. It is totally Monday. I've been up for a while, but I just couldn't get to my desk. But I knew what the herb of the week was, sage. So I smudged some sage. I have a brand new sage roll here and on my desk for the week that my ex-husband got me. He ordered me some Amazon white sage. I'm sure that's fantastically pure and full of good intent. But I am happy to have it. I probably would not have ordered it myself. But now that I've had it, I probably would want to get some more of it someday. But these bundles last forever. And I think I gave him one, or I gave one away because there was 3 and now I only have 2. So maybe I gave him one. That would make sense since, he's the one who bought them for me. I shared one. I don't know who I shared it with. Sage is our herb of the week. Now, some of the cards are white sage, like the kind I'm talking about, and then other types are garden sage. We've got lots of cards today. Are you ready to hang out? Ooh, I thought about maybe doing 2 different podcasts, but then I thought, nope, I'm not, because whether it's white sage or garden sage or pineapple sage, I'm just saying we're going to honor it as all sage. Kind of like eagles. Yes, everybody would probably love to have a bald eagle as their spirit friend, but what if you just have a turkey? That can be your eagle, okay? So I never bought myself white sage because, I kind of thought it was perhaps being over harvested a little bit, or, and I thought, well, it doesn't grow around here, so I guess I don't necessarily need it. But it really is quite different than burning garden sage, which I've done. Now I can say I've done both. Given the opportunity, I'll pretty much light anything on fire just to see what it smells like. And by anything, I mean plants. I don't burn plastic. Okay, don't do that. My good friend, they burn plastic, but they see it as a petroleum product. I'm not going to argue with anybody, but I don't like the way that smells because of my neighbors. They'll burn plastic, and I'm like, ugh. Don't you know you're letting off dioxin? So just kind of pretty chill this morning. I had weird dreams, the kind of dreams I was happy to wake up from. They just didn't make sense, and they were exhausting in themselves. So I was like ready to get out. Finally got my period. Hi, it's Sadie, TMI Cherico. I'm just telling you because if you listen to my podcast, I would have bet you $5 I would have got it last Tuesday. Like I was like, shout out to all the people who are going to bleed today. Me too. And here it is almost a week later. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe could have been my little personal drama last week, which is all settled now, quiet, like that never happened. That's perfect for me, you know. That means that I'm doing my forgiveness work. That means that I'm doing my releasing practice. That means I'm not holding on to things. That means I'm not a vibrational match to drama. The quicker, even if drama enters your life, don't beat yourself up and be like, oh my God, how did I manifest this? If it exits your life just as randomly as it came in, congratulate yourself that you are vibrating higher and higher and not hardly even a match to that bullshit anymore. You're vibrationally hardly even a match. Good job. So anyways, it was kind of like a test, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, test of truth here. Like, can I let this come in and out and not engage, not hold on to it, not identify with it? And so I feel like I did that. Now, with that said, I think sage is like the perfect herb for me this week. Let's purify the space, right? I'm going to drink sage tea every morning with you this week. I've put a few leaves of garden sage in the teacup, literally just put the leaf in the cup. And I put a small dried peel of organic orange peel in it too, because they are nice together. Sage and orange peel I find to be lovely. So I'm going to have some of that. Of course, I've already drank like a gallon of hot black tea. But yeah, now I'm going to have my sage. And I can probably like add a little hot water to the cup. You know, you can get 2 cups out of this, maybe 3 if you want. So that's that. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sage cards. One's an essential oil from our Botanic Whispers. We've got a flower essence with looks like white calf woman, white buffalo calf woman with her little baby buffalo. So cute. So freaking cute. We've got a card that says guidance. We've got a card that says purify, purification. Of course, that's probably the main thing that we think about with sage. Like, that's why you smudge with sage. It's an act of purification. I have seen articles that say it also purifies the air, like literally. Of course, if you post that link on Facebook, it will come up with a warning, right? That's how fucked up Facebook is. They can't even let you post about sage purifying the air without warning you. They're such dick fucks, aren't they? Like, I don't even know if I've ever said the word dick fuck before, but like, I just did for them. Like, what a fill in the blank. You use your own word, whatever word you would like to use to describe somebody who goes out of their way to put a warning of potential, like a warning of like false information about sage, an article about sage. You fill in the blank, okay? You fill in the blank, whatever you think. You're allowed to skip this question. You are allowed to not engage and have your own test. Like, oh no, not even gonna fall for this, Sadie. We're not talking bad about anyone, not even Facebook. Okay, good job. Then we have a card with some ravens with the 4 elements, the 4 directions. I'm really gonna love this one because I have been so immersed in the Lynn V. Andrews Medicine Woman series books, and it's making so much sense to me. And the last little story bit, I'm on the Crystal Woman. I think I read Star Woman and then now Crystal Woman. But anyways, in Crystal Woman, the medicine woman from the south is visiting, and I have no idea if these people are actually together or just in the astral realm. Like, sometimes I don't actually know what's going on in the book, but it don't matter. The book is to teach me things. That's why it found me. So she was talking about relationships and she actually used the medicine wheel to explain why most do not work, and how, if you can find one that fits this east, west, north, south perfect combination, how you can actually get or be blessed with a relationship that's really fulfilling and works for you as a medicine woman. So let's just, for the sake of saying it, we're all medicine women. That's why we've come together here at Ho. Obviously, nope, it wasn't because we're hoes. It's because Ho, we are medicine women. And, you know, it's like a lot of us probably are going to just be like my mom, who, you know, there just really is no male counterpart perhaps for us, or that we can tolerate, or right, we're just going to maybe go decades without bringing a man into our life because for whatever reason. But, you know, here's how she described it. Let me try to get to the point, since I'm totally not even trying to get to Sage, apparently. So fast forward 15 minutes if you want to get to Sage. I want to tell you about this medicine wheel story. So she drew a circle, and then of course they found the perfect rocks for east, west, north, and south. Okay, so just envision this in your mind. And I'm looking at this card to help me. So we've got this, the 4 directions. Now, on the west, we've got the element of water. Okay, on the east, we have air. On this one, she has a little different than I think they do it. But anyways, south is us. South is our physicalness. And then north is spirit. All right, so anyways, don't let me confuse you with my jumbling here. But anyways, basically what she was saying was, in the West, that's like our emotions. That's like women. That's where women, we mostly reside in the West with like, I feel. Let's talk about our feelings. Most men reside in the East, like with the air. I think. Now, so here we are at different points of the circle, men, women, male, female, masculine, feminine, however you want to do it. We come down to the south in the physical, and we come together, right? So basically, we come down to the south, we have sex, and we come together physically, and then we go back east and west, and, you know, I want to talk about how I feel. He wants to talk about what he thinks. I think, I feel. What do you think? How do you feel? Blah, blah, blah. And we go back down to the south every once in a while and connect physically, and then we go back. So it makes this triangle with the lower half of the circle. Are you with me? And so that's our basic relationship, you know, with whoever you're having a relationship with, okay? It's like you're kind of just stuck, like, and you don't even realize you're stuck because it's so, quote, normal. How do you feel? What do you think? Let's connect physically. What do you think? How do you feel? You know, I feel like this. Well, I think like this, right? Okay, so that's the relationship. We completely leave out the north. We completely leave out the spirit. So it's like, and that's what I think a lot of us are looking for. Yeah, we want to come together down in the south, but we want that vertical connection. We want that raise and vibration. We want that divine experience. We want to bring spirit into this union, right? We want to have like sex so good, like we like float up to the heavens. And it's not just like the physical act. It's like we allow spirit to join us. Like we're, hey, what's up? It's party. You know, and it's like, and that's what we really want. We want to get this. And we talk about this here all the time. We want that vertical connection. Just like in ourselves, we want the vertical guidance. We want to go within our hearts so that we can bring in the divine. We can go up into spirit for what we are truly looking for. So if you can find that with another human being, holy smokes, like that's awesome. And then she was saying that in order to bring spirit then back down into our physical lives, the two people need to have an act of power or an act of beauty together. So it's like, how do we want to manifest spirit in our life? Maybe perhaps it's a creative project. Maybe they do healing together. Maybe they write a book together. Maybe they have a study together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it really was a simple story that I took way too long to explain here. But it was like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Like, we have to get out of the triangle of I think, I feel, let's have sex, repeat, and get that vertical connection up into the north, up into spirit. Like, yeah, it's great to come down here into the south and feel the fire. And yes, it's great to talk about our watery emotions and our airy thoughts and logical thoughts, like whatever. It's a good mix. For the most part, we all enjoy it. But once we realize that there is the northern element of spirit, I think most of us are going to want to take our relationships to the next level. Like, yeah, like let's get things purified and meaningful and purposeful and connected. So anyways, end of story. I really like the Lynn V. Andrews books that she wrote back in the 80s. They've been super entertaining and insightful, and they bring in everything. And and one more thing about these books that I freaking have to laugh so much. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a break from like always being involved in extraterrestrial stuff and like weirdo extra weirdo stuff, and I'm just gonna read some native books. I'm just gonna get back to earth, right? I'm just gonna I'm trying to balance my life. Well, I can't escape it, man. There's so much extraterrestrial stuff in Native American energy. It's like I am never going to get out of the galactic vibe. Like, I just have to just admit that to myself. Like, I could literally get involved in any topic, any subject, any project, something so as far off as galactic as you can be, and the galactics will still find me through it. So anyways, I just have to laugh because, yeah, they do a lot of stuff with the stars, with the Pleiades. They even say the Pleiades. So anyways, I just have to laugh how these books from the 80s, from the freaking 80s that I'm reading right now, are still tying everything together for me, just like everything does. So yeah, everything is connected, and now the medicine wheel's making more sense to me. Now the elements are making more sense to me. Now the plants are making even more sense to me. Now my spiritual practice and process of purification is making more sense to me. And yeah, absolutely, I'm realizing my own strength more and more and more. And it's like, here's the real thing about that relationship, that ideal relationship, that we are capable of having with another person if we find the right person. So see, as I come into my power, I will only want a man who has come into his power the best that he can. And I say that because a man can only come into their power to a certain degree, and then they need us ladies. They do. Right? So it's like, I will never settle at this point for anything less than that, which is sad, but also liberating. And it's like, yeah, it has to be with a man who honors the female power, because a lot of men do not, obviously, honor female power. They're threatened by it. They certainly don't respect it. And those boys are not an option. So anyways, it's been a really good reflective moment. And as you have witnessed me over the last 8 or 9 months, I really have gone from someone who was thinking that I absolutely had to have a lover. Absolutely, right? I was like, how can I breathe without one? And I've really done all these amazing realizations and releases, and come into a knowing that, I needed to. I had to feel deserted. I had to go so deep into aloneness to realize that I am one with everything and everyone. And so it really does not matter what type of human relations I have at this point in my life, because I needed to learn something bigger than me, bigger than the love triangle, right? Bigger than that. I had to realize much bigger things. So anyways, that's where we're at. Another week at Ho. This is our 38th herb of the week. We're doing sage, and then I guess Wednesday we're going to manifest more sincerity. I don't know. We'll see about that. All right, go make yourself some sage tea. We are going to get to know this absolutely beautiful, guiding, purifying, strengthening herb, illuminating herb, sage. Woo! All right, we got the sage burning. I have one unlit and one lit bundle. So yeah, I guess I did give Dreg the third one. And I just opened up a window. May all negativity leave this house. And I pray the negativity is not within me. So I really am trying to be so positive. And I'm excited, or positive enough. Let's just say that. But I am curious what we can learn from sage today. Like I said, these are my first sage bundles. I don't claim to be an expert in sage or sage medicine whatsoever, but maybe by the end of this podcast, we can all add to our repertoire of our healing allies, our herbal allies. So yeah, I hope my neighbors are enjoying the sage too, because it's really burning. So yeah, I'm opening up the window. We don't need to set off the smoke alarm. Now I've smudged with mugwort and Nag Champa. I love incense, but the sage is pretty new to me, and I love it. I do love it. All right, so where do we begin? I feel like I want to begin with the warrior woman right underneath my my sage tower. I have it standing upright. Usually it doesn't do that, but it's doing that for me today in the bowl, standing upright, and just like a good stream of vertical smoke, right? So that's maybe where our message is going to lie. But this card this is our Botanic Whispers. It's all about strength, immortality, and it also has salvage on it. Now, the negative attributes or reversed meanings might be disease, unprotected, and abandoned. And the affirmation to get us started today says, though I am divinely protected, I am the only hero I truly need. My salvation lies in realizing my own strength. So isn't that kind of like the culmination of a lot of my experiences and where I am? And, I am divinely protected. Though I am divinely protected, Spirit has my back. I get it. Even though all that, I am the only hero I truly need. So I'm protected, yet at the same time, I am the only hero I truly need. I can get her done. I can protect myself. I can make this all happen through me with the help of Spirit, of course. My salvation lies in realizing my own strength. So a lot of the lessons that I personally needed to learn this year was obviously, now looking back, realizing my own strength. So if you're having a lot of lessons, I like to put them in quotes, lessons in your life, teachable moments, things that you have, it's like what needs to happen is you need to absorb the lesson or the realization. How many of them like if you think about it, can actually be grouped with the same learning of your own strength. How many lessons in your life could just be brought to the culmination, brought to its ending point, because now you are going to retain the knowledge, right? Learning is only necessary until we have knowledge. So it's like, when are you going to realize your own strength? When are you going to realize your own divinity? When are you going to realize your own immortality, right? And then a lot of those lessons are literally just going to be like the smoke that's billowing out the window right now. Like, and do you hear the birds? They're so cute. But it's like a lot of these lessons are just that easily going to float out the window of your life because you've realized your own strength. You really know it. You really know it. All right, so that's our little affirmation to kick it off. Let us walk into the woods together and forage at the Head Witch's garden, at the Head Witch's field guide. And we'll see what this nerdy book, let's just get nerdy right away with sage. So Ciola Thompson has a really cool sage plant. This is basically garden sage, common sage. Some people call it broadleaf sage, Dalmatian sage even, because it's got a little spottiness on it. Yes, sage. It's got little purple flowers. My sage is never happy enough to flower, but some of my friends seem to be blessed more with the sage fairies. So yeah, luckily I can ask them or find some. The old Drunkadoo lover gave me many pieces off of his garden sage, and I put them in the vinegar bottle. So I'm actually making a sage vinegar to clean with, because I do find the scent very purifying. And yeah, that's how I just decided to offer his gift to me. I was like, yes, I'll take your dirty sage and I'll put it in my vinegar bottle. All right, so let's talk about sage. Sadie, native to the Mediterranean region. Sage has naturalized in many places throughout the world. It's pretty easy to find in gardens, in the wild. I've never seen it in the wild. And of course at your local grocery store. Okay, you can probably buy fresh sage now in them little plastic containers in the produce. Dried sage, rubbed sage. You can find yourself some sage this week, absolutely. Now, there's lots of different varieties. Like I even said, pineapple sage. That's pretty delicious. Red sage, broadleaf. White or green sage is one of the most commonly used as seasoning and in medicinal preparations. Now, here's some of the ways that we could actually use this in medicine. It has a long history, of course, medicinally and culinary. It can be used to treat snake bite, to increase women's fertility, and more. Okay, I guess that's all that we're getting. White sage grows easily from seeds and requires little maintenance once established. It can even be grown indoors. That might be something to try. Just note that this plant prefers a clay or terracotta container as it needs good drainage. So it likes to dry out if you want to try to grow white sage. I think we should. I'm like, I think we should, you guys. I think we should try to grow some white sage indoors. It needs good drainage. Find a sunny spot, inside or out, with good drainage, and it should flourish. Okay. So, and our tarot card from the Herb Crafters Tarot, that sage is in a terracotta pot right outside the door. So yeah, what the heck, man? I think I should try it again at some point. So purify is the oracle property of this card, and all of the cards in this deck seem very clean because they're on a white background. It's a simple sketch with a little watercolor here and there to bring the plant to life. But yeah, I love these cards. Now, it's been used to ward off evil. Okay, that's a lot of the reason people have been drawn to sage. They can feel its purification vibes. It's been used to cleanse spaces and banish negative energy. Smudging, like what I'm doing right now. I walked this sage bundle probably 3 times this morning to just kind of get myself in the energy to do this podcast. Like I really love it when I can do a podcast about an herb that I actually have on hand. So I've been smudging. I've got my sage tea. I thought maybe I used to have sage essential oil, but I don't. I do not anymore. It's not in the cupboard. But anyways, really love it. And even the unburnt bundle, I just love the smell of it, like just to have it in dried form. So Smudging, though, lighting, the burning of the sage bundles, and most commonly white sage, but you can try it with any sage if you want. If all you have is garden sage and you want to honor the plant in your space, you are allowed to do that. It's not quite the same, I'll just tell you, but like this white sage is fantastic. And it's a practice done to clear and rebalance the essential energy of a person or a space. So, I mean, I remember like getting smudged with sage at like a festival like 100 years ago by a native man, and I was just like, all right, right? But like I liked it. I was like, this feels really good. But I had no fucking clue what was going on across the board. Welcome to your 20s, you dumbass, right? Like I really had no idea what was going on, but I still was like, yeah, thank you, I like that. I don't know why I like that, but it felt good. So anyways, some people relate this plant to the Hierophant in a tarot deck. She thinks it's a good companion to the Page of Wands in its fresh approach to the world. Today, white sage will be making an appearance here as the 5 of Air. As a matter of fact, we could go over there. We could go over there next, as long as I don't get confused and and forget which sage I'm on. So yeah, we are urged to try new things, welcome new people into our life. She also wants to talk about the 8 of Pentacles, speaks of clarity and focus, specifically concerning our work or craft. The clearing, purifying energy of sage is a powerful tool for anyone trying to focus or start anew. So anyways, yes, burn, hold on, got some ashes everywhere. So, new week here at Ho, new focus, new energy. Let's let go of all the negativity from last week and our entire life and every previous incarnation. Let's let it all go. Let's be open to new energy. Let's be open to new people, new experiences, new idea, a new breath of fresh air, a new focus. Let's start anew. So sage brings all of that in to purify our space, and to cleanse. Whether you light it on fire or not, you can bring in that new energy. So the 5 of Air in the Herb Crafter's Tarot, she is tying together bundles of the white sage that she grew in her terracotta pot right outside her front door. She's using red string. So, you know, as I'm reading my Lynn V. Andrews books, they're harvesting herbs last week when I was hanging out with them in my mind, and they're wrapping the dried herbs up in red cloth. So red is, you know, obviously a woman's color, right? Represents the blood and the power of a woman. And so yeah, it's a good color to wrap up your herbs. And I just absolutely love that. I was just reading that, and now I noticed that she's using red string to tie up these white sage bundles and the 5 of Air. So the fives in this Herb Crafter's Tarot by Letitia Guthrie, the fives are all plants that are threatened or endangered within the United Plant Savers. So if you do order some white sage, try to get it from somebody reputable, or, you know, I would not recommend Amazon the way I got mine, but I didn't get it. It was a gift. But, I mean, they're fine, but, you know, I can tell that these were probably, I mean, they're cut like straight off the edges, you know, like they're not like somebody wrapped these up themselves. So if and when I ever order more sage, I'm going to probably look on Etsy, see if I can find somebody who grew it themselves. Or, hello, Sadie, grow your own damn sage. Okay, but anyways, that's what the fives are about in this deck. So, are you curious? I was like, what are the other fives? White sage, black cohosh is fire, golden seal is water, and slippery elm is earth. So, I see that. Okay, so now the white sage, Salvia apiana, has these key thoughts, key ideas for the card. My face feels like I just walked into cobwebs, you guys. So if you've been hanging out with me, sometimes I get cobwebs whenever, like, I feel like I've put my face in the veil. Right? Spirit makes me feel like cobwebs sometimes. All right, so long-held beliefs may not be rooted in reality. I'll read that again. Five of Air, white sage, brings in this message. Long-held beliefs may not be rooted in reality. Refuse to go along with the crowd. Believe the threatened, oppressed ones. So it comes in, the Five of Air definitely comes in with some intense messages here. Question your belief systems. Question your thoughts. Who cares if you've believed it since the beginning of time? If it ain't true, it ain't true, right? And our egos will get us to believe just about anything. And will get us to believe just about anything that would lead us to enlightenment. And you say, how can that be, Sadie? We're pulling cards together and we're doing yoga and we're, you know, meditating. Yeah, but like at some point you really got to also check your belief systems and see which ones are coming from your heart and spirit and which ones are actually the ego in disguise. Because that's what I've been doing this year with A Course in Miracles. Literally shredding my reality. Literally just freaking talk about lighting on fire all of the thoughts and beliefs and sometimes really funny stuff that I held as a belief, but really they were not rooted in the reality that is true, like true. And now that I'm reading The Course in Miracles, you know, I have had to let go of so much, because I just see how the ego will distract us and lead us astray. And, you know, why? Why does it do that? Because the ego realizes that once we are illuminated in the knowledge of immortality and the divine, we don't need the ego anymore. That will be the end of the ego illusion. That will truly be ego death. And of course the ego is only out for itself and to sustain itself. And so it will throw us some boomerangs and bangers and distractions. And so it's like you have to check your beliefs. You have to be scrupulous and you have to be like, all right, where did this belief come from? Is it mine? Is it God's? Like, is it my mother's? Like, where is this just the belief of the crowd, of the collective consciousness? Does everybody just believe this? So I went along with it, but didn't even really test it out or question it for myself. And so white sage says, hey, question your beliefs. They may or may not be rooted in reality. Refuse to go along with the crowd. Just because everybody believes something doesn't mean you have to. Just because everybody's doing what they're told, being obedient little sheep, doesn't mean that you have to. You're a lion. Why the fuck would you be hanging out with sheep? So we're looking at a healthy white sage plant, and it's growing in that terracotta pot on a well-worn concrete doorstep. Okay, it's beautiful, but things are rough. The plant is small and strong. It is small but strong. The home is old but well cared for. There is a flat woven spirally basket, and it holds sprigs of freshly harvested sage. There are several leaves that are wrapped into bundles with red string. The loose leaves will be saved for medicine. Nothing will be wasted. Like, not one twig, leaf, or nothing will be wasted. Everything will be used. So let's talk about the 5 of air, white sage. A spiritual crisis challenges long-held beliefs. Though your conscience pulls at you, you are reluctant to let go of your opinions. Rise to the challenge. Accept the truth. White sage has become a trendy spiritual tool. It's true. It's like everybody got it, but do you know why you have it? So educate yourself. It's okay if you found sage through a trendiness. No shame, but educate yourself. It is sacred to many of the indigenous people of North America whose traditions are widely misused. Development and erosion also threaten the survival of this species. So yeah, honor it. Don't overharvest it. Grow your own if you can, and apparently I guess we can all do that. So let's try to do that. I guess it said it grows easily from seed. Let's give it a shot, you guys. White sage is teaching us to protect what is holy. It rides the air. Awesome. It rids the air of toxins. Although Facebook will warn you about that claim. Uh-oh, Facebook. People are trying to naturally purify the air. You better step in. You better step in. Uh-oh. People are trying to be all natural. People are trying to connect with the earth. People are trying to become sovereign and take responsibility for their health and vibration. You better step in and scare them. White sage is teaching us to protect what is holy. It rids the air of toxins, but is also a valued medicinal. Clear the path. Clear it. Clear the path. Listen to others and make room for healing. Seek a solution that is beneficial to all. So yeah, we want to clear the room. We want to clear our energy. We want to clear our minds. We want to clear the path. We want to purify. We want to be ready for new energies in this spiritual crisis that's challenging all of us, that's challenging all of our long-held beliefs. So rise to the challenge. Open up and accept the truth. Allow the truth with a capital T to reside in you. You are the truth. Why? Because you are the light. You are the love. Yeah, you are. So familiarize yourself with the origins of your spiritual tools. So if you've gotten some sage, learn more about it, know how it's been used, honor the ancient traditions, know where the practice comes from, get to know plants local to you for burning and sacred rituals of your own making. So it is really nice, and I feel honored to have white sage in my house now. However, I'm very familiar with what grows right around my house. Literally, I've got these bushes, and I don't know if they're a type of I'm not sure what they are, but they smell so good. Like so good. Those smell good to burn. Even my scented geranium, my citronella geranium, that's becoming a tree. It smells really good to burn. Mugwort smells really good to burn. The lavender would be good to burn now that it's dried to a crisp out there. I could just prune it and bring it in and light it on fire. So anyways, know what local plants you have. But then, if you do have some sage, be very respectful and listen to the conservationists to preserve this plant. Do what you can, support United Plant Savers efforts. And then, I would definitely say, whether you have sage or not this week, make a bundle of the herbs and plants growing around you. I've had bundles with red clover in it. Right? Somebody sent me that. That was so fun. You can use all the plants around you to make your own, quote, sage bundles. Like I said, if you don't have a white eagle and all you have is a turkey, use that turkey feather as your eagle feather, So you can use any herb that you want this week as sage. I feel like sage is saying that. Like, yes, I'm a protected plant. So you can go and harvest my cousins this week and use them as well for purification, for making a statement with the smoke of your strength, of your cleansing, of your 5 of air. So, all right, so let's drink our sage tea and we'll continue on learning about our fantastic herb of the week, sage. All right, did you make some sage tea or did you just go make more black tea like I did? I have them both on my desk here. All right, I got them both. But yeah, I got these ginger snap cookies from the bulk food store, and they're hard as rocks, okay? So you have to dip them into your tea. And they're like the perfect cookie to dip into black tea. Man, so good. All right, so I'm feeling thankful for the little things today. I'm feeling thankful that I have sage. I'm feeling thankful that I have you to talk to. I'm feeling thankful that I can dip my cookies into my tea. I'm thankful that the house is cozy. I'm super thankful to be bleeding. Like, I just want to tell my period that I love it. Like, I don't know. Talk about purifying. Like sometimes don't you just feel like what your pussy needs is a good bleed? Like, I just can't wait to get my period. Like, it's a purifying thing in itself, It's an honoring, it's a ritual. I really love when people share their stories with me about how they love their periods. I have a friend who's like celebrating 1 year anniversary of menopause. Like, she has not had her period in a year. She is ecstatic. She's so happy to be done with that shit. But I also have friends who honor their periods to the same degree in the opposite direction. They love their blood. They honor their blood. They save their blood in their diva cup and water their plants with it. Like, like, I love having a variety of people in my life. I'm probably in the middle of that, definitely really just, honoring my womb and my uterus. And, every time I have my period, I think about how this red blood brought forth 3 beautiful humans. My womb made that possible. And so, yeah, like, I've never cursed my period ever since having children, because like I know without it I would not have these. I just love my kids. I just love them so much. My big, almost, they just seem like adults anymore. Like they're still my children, but they're just so big. They're just literally humongous. And so yeah, like I honor them, and I honor life, and yeah. So anyways, before I had kids, I don't think I complained about my period, probably because like I was almost 14, but like I was literally almost 14 before I got mine. So I feel like I like wanted it from the get-go. Like I was like, I want to have my period. Finally, I got it. So I never really complained about it. I think because I wanted it. I had to wait. I was like the last girl in my class to get her period, you know? And so yeah, and it was never like, I don't know. I never thought bad about it. I actually probably never thought much about it, if anything. Like I said, in my 20s, teens and 20s, I didn't really wake up until like 24, 25 to anything. And I thank my children for that too, because it was becoming a mother that all of a sudden, bam, I woke up to like everything all at once. Okay, so where are we headed now? I feel like because I've been listening to the crows outside, we'll go to the next card, which actually they look actually more like ravens. You might think that they're crows, but I would say looking at the beak, those are ravens. Crows, ravens, you can tell the difference if you look. But like I said, if you're not cool enough to have a raven, you can have a crow. And if you're not cool enough for a crow, then you can, whatever little birdie's out there can be your crow, okay? So I feel like Sage is giving us permission to honor like all of our, quote, sacred practices. Not that it's anything to be quoted, but it's like, listen, if you don't have white sage and all you have is some leaf off of a herb that you grew, then that can be your sacred plant. If you don't have a raven, but you have a robin, right, then honor that bird. Whatever is here to give you guidance, it doesn't have to be like a by the book, and it doesn't have to be anything less for you. You know, like whatever you honor is what you honor. Whatever your tradition is your tradition. So if it's sacred to you, then so be it. It is sacred. All right, so thank you, Sage, for that. Okay, so let's see if I can find it in the Illustrated Herbiary by Maya Toll. So I might have to look in the index. I'm flipping through. I see mugwort, California poppy, valerian. I don't know. Sage is all about clearing. Here it is. Clear the way. Clear the way. Oh gosh, this picture is awesome. So when you open up the book, the card comes to life, truly, because I don't know, it's like 10 times the size, or, you know, I don't know. Don't make me math. So anyways, sage, salvia, apiana. Sage comes today with these 4 feathered messengers, each carrying a bone. And see, that's so interesting to me too, because when I was at the Cool Spring Power Museum part swap, you know, there's always a unique a vendor, you know, and that's where I got my flint. But right beside him was also another unique vendor who had he was just like basically selling old license plates, but underneath he had this antler head, like so freaking cool. Like it was just the skeleton, and I was like, oh, how much do you want for that? And he wanted like 60 for it. And he's like, it's worth 60. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely, it's worth 60, but I didn't have $60 to buy some bones. But what was interesting to me is that had it have like not, had I had that money, or if he'd have just been like, oh, for you, you should just have it, I would have totally taken that deer head. Like it looked like something out of the desert that had been there for 100 years. Like, and I'm not usually attracted to bones, so that was kind of different for me to be like, really, you're gonna bring a freaking skeleton head into your house? It had antlers. It was awesome looking. But I was like, yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know why. Like, who am I today? But yeah, like, I'm not usually drawn to antlers and bones. But then I literally turned around and bought a flint knife made out of a white-tailed deer antler as the handle. So apparently, like, something inside of me wants some bones and antlers in the house. Like, not in, like, hunt it and put its head on the wall, I don't think, but like if it was a found bone or found skull. So I really hope I don't become a bone woman like that. Like, I was like, really, Sadie? Like, the neat and tidy part of my ego mind's like, do we have to do this? Do we have to go along with everything she wants to do? All right, life can be sticky. Members of the Sage clan have been used in a multitude of cultures for clearing the invisible wisps of energy that cling barnacle-like to people and places. So yeah, when I feel like I walk into cobwebs, maybe that's what I'm picking up. Invisible wisps of energy. Maybe there's something on me that needs cleared. Whether you think of those energies as your own spent emotions or the leftover emanations of someone else's, regardless of how your belief system defines these energies, Sage can help you make your peace and move on. So it really doesn't matter how you define it or what you think it is. It's like Sage is like, either way, let's clear it. Let's make peace with it and move on. Sage is sacred because it clears the way, creating a blank canvas and an open path, allowing you the opportunity to reach your full potential. So yeah, reaching our full potential, clearing the way, opening the path, making our peace, moving on, clearing blocks. Sage's appearance tells you that a block needs to be cleared, whether you can name it or not, so you can move forward. So if you're doing your own oracle readings, or you just feel like every time you turn around, you're seeing Sage or hearing about Sage, ask yourself if you feel like you could benefit from having some blocks cleared and removed. Is your energy flowing? Are you open? Do you feel like you're on the path, on the way to reaching your full potential? If not, maybe today is going to be a Sage day for you. Now, in the book, The Illustrated Herbiary, Maya did a ritual and a reflection for each of the herbs. And the ritual, of course, if you could probably guess for Sage, is smudge. And then the reflection, naturally, is letting go. So as we smudge, really, really honor it by allowing yourself to be present in the now moment and consciously say, I let this energy go, whether I can name it or not. I let this energy go. So, smudging uses smoke usually from sage, cedar, palo santo, sweetgrass, or other culturally important plants as a blessing or a way of clearing negative energy. It does for your energy field what hitting the reset button does for your computer. And apparently that's why pretty much every day, oh my God, I never miss a day. I was like, do I ever skip a day? No, never. I light a stick of incense every single morning, sometimes 2 or 3, depending. And usually at night too. I like to have a stick of incense as I'm getting in bed and relaxing. And not only that, like, I swear to God, my bedroom upstairs is in the right part of the house where it holds all the smells from cooking. And like yesterday I roasted all these vegetables and I literally walked into my bedroom and thought, it smells like a box of farts in here. like I was like, oh, thank you, cauliflower. I appreciate you. I'm going to light some incense. So, and it helps me relax and clears the space, and I definitely love it. I definitely love it. Love, love, love it. The ancients believed that burning released the plant's spirit, so it could assist us in keeping the air clear of emotions and emanations of illness. Modern science shows that sage smoke contains volatile compounds that kill airborne bacteria. And so the ancient and modern align. So suck it, Facebook. Like, you're not going to be able to stop this sage revolution from happening. Even if you've smudged a zillion times before, smudge regularly. You can use white sage or culinary sage, which both Celtic and Middle Eastern cultures have used for this purpose. So whether you're using Salvia apiana, the white sage, or Salvia officinalis, the culinary garden sage, it's okay. You can use whatever you have. So you either take a bundle, like I have a bundle, or you can take a loose piece of sage, which also totally works. Light it and then tamp out the actual flame so the leaves are smoldering and smoking. So if you have a feather, you can waft the feather gently, right, towards your bundle. Okay, you can do that. You can walk around with it. You can move it gently. If you're smudging someone, snake them around them on all four sides of them. You can just set it in the bowl and let it smolder away if you want. You can do it however you want. Move the sage around your body or home so that the smoke touches everything. If you're smudging a person, be sure to pass smoke over the palms of the hands, because that's where we make contact with other people. So if you had it like smoldering in the bowl, you could smudge your own palms of your own hands, like just by, playing with the smoke, right? And, letting it smudge you. So, yeah, I can smell it in my hair. I mean, I know a lot of times I walk around smelling like a campfire and sage and it's different though than cigarette smoke, I don't think that I smell like a person who smokes, but I know that I definitely have herb smoke on me pretty much all the time and in everything that I own, because I smudge regularly. So anyways, here's the reflection of letting go. And I'm sure you feel the importance of letting go. So the question is, are you willing to release without analyzing? Is there just some stuff you can release without having it all figured out, without analyzing it? Like, even if you can't identify the blockage or identify the negative vibe, you're like, I'm not even sure. Do I need to know? Do I have to analyze the fuck out of it? Or can I just release it and let it go? Modern psychology teaches that we need to understand our emotions before we can release them. In contrast, traditional healing and shamanic practices offer release without conscious cognitive awareness. When you smudge, you're taking advantage of the latter, letting the smoke lift away whatever isn't serving your path in life. So check in with yourself. Are you willing to release without analyzing? Can we just be willing to release whatever negativity? If there's any negativity in me in this home, I release it now. Get your ass out the window, right? Open up the window, let the negativity exit out, okay? Right? And do you have to understand? Do you have to analyze it? No, you don't actually. I know that's crazy because like I contemplate like I get paid for it. I do not. And a lot of the stuff I have even said to myself, I don't know what happened this weekend, but I feel better today and so be it. Right? I feel like I've released so much and for whatever reason, I feel more healed and complete than I ever have. Do I have to be able to write a book about it? Nope. All I have to do is be willing to release. Be willing to release. Let go. Okay? All right. So anyways, like I was saying about the feather, if you have a feather to smudge, that's nice to use it as a fan. And when someone first, and I did not appreciate it, I was given a gift. You're going to cry for me. I did not appreciate it. I was given a gift of a large seashell, sage and things, and an eagle feather when I was younger. And I literally was like, all right, thanks. And I didn't really honor it. And I mean, I used it, but I didn't really understand the tradition. Like our 5 of air was saying, I just was like, okay, thanks. You know, I didn't really at the time understand what a gift that was. So I think like, I don't know, like I just put the feather like in my feather wreath. I'm not even sure which one it is anymore. They all look so rough. I have a wreath on my porch that's just nothing but feathers. It's an old wreath, and if I find a feather, I put it in this. It's just got feathers sticking out of it. Like not a lot, it's kind of sparse, but it looks cool. But they are all so weathered, I can't tell you what is what anymore. But anyways, it was the seashell and the sage and the feather to use as a fan. And so those allow you to use like things to represent the elements. So when Maya smudges, she says, I like to use a seashell to catch the ash and a feather as the fan. This allows me to represent the 4 elements in my ritual. So the sage is the earth, okay? The feather is the air, the flame is the fire, and the shell is a representation of the water. So air, earth, fire, and water are all represented with, like I said, the sage is the earth, and the earth symbol is a upward triangle with the line across the top, and the air symbol is the downward triangle with the line across the top, the bottom. And then fire is the upward triangle, and the water is the downward triangle. So I'm always like trying to recognize those without referencing. Someday I will. All right. So anyways, get your smudge on. All right. Where do we need to go now? Clear the way. All right. I feel like, I'm going to have to use my intuition. I feel like we need to go up into the sage brush with white buffalo calf woman. With the sage brush. Okay, it's on page 44. This is the Power of Flowers. Power of Flowers. This is a deck with flower essences by Isha Lerner. And this is white buffalo calf woman. She is standing next to a baby buffalo. He comes up to her waist, like just at her waist. Oh, it's so cute. It is so cute. There's like the bunch of sage plants, I guess, growing up on that cliffy rock thing. And its flowers look yellow. An evergreen shrub or woody perennial, the sage brush plant is distinguished by its leaf patterns, small yellow flowers, and silvery gray or white aromatic foliage. This hardy plant utilizes the full strength of the sun and can tolerate extremes of heat and cold. So this might be a little different of a plant, but I grabbed it anyways for this thing. This says Artemisia Caucasia or Caucasica. Anyways, it's here today. The sagebrush is one of Mother Nature's most popular healing agents for purification of heart, mind, and body, both as a flower essence and as a sacred herb. Its essence, derived from sagebrush blossoms, may accelerate personal evolution. The tiny yellow flowers act as miniature suns, blooming like rays of new consciousness from its silvery green foliage and radiating the light of the Great Spirit within the heart of humanity. Sagebrush essence serves as a spiritual cleaner and tonic, clearing out the obstacles, illusions, and habitual patterns which typically cloud reality. So yeah, these things that cloud our reality, not just the negativities and the obstacles, but some of these illusions, some of these belief systems that we buy into that are anything but truth. We need to clear those illusions. We need to clear our habitual patterns of things that we just do without thinking. So we are looking at the white buffalo calf woman. According to Lakota teachings, white buffalo calf woman is associated with the mysteries of the sacred pipe. She introduces an awareness of the sacredness of all life, bringing order to the universe. Her image changes from that of a beautiful woman to that of a buffalo, sometimes white and sometimes black, depending on the message she has to impart. Ooh. And that's interesting, and it made me think, like, I'm also doing a lot with like Aboriginal dream time right now, and they have their black swan, which it has such an interesting story about that. And wouldn't you fucking know it, the book that Lynn V. Andrews talks about right now is getting into Aboriginal stuff and the black swan, which eventually will be a white swan again, once it does its work and we rebalance the energies of masculine and feminine on the planet. And so it's kind of not a funny story, but interesting. So like basically like bad juju, negative masculine male energy plucked all the feathers of the white swan out, and then Cousin Crow, of course it was a crow, Cousin Crow was like, oh my God, just horrified that the swan had no feathers, gave the swan his black feathers. And so that's how we got the black swan. And yeah, it's like that Aboriginal Dreamtime message, it's like once we return to the white swan, we'll know we have rebalanced the energy. So if I see a black swan in a reading, that could indicate the imbalance of the energy, or that, we need to go inward and do that inner work. It has a lot of different meanings. But anyways, and so the buffalo too could be sometimes white and sometimes black. And that is depending on the message that the white buffalo calf woman would like to impart. So there are times in our lives when we are faced with the choice either to realign ourselves to higher principles through purification of thought, word, and deed, or to turn our backs on such precious opportunities. So it's like sometimes we stand literally on a crossroad in our life. Literally, we're standing at a crossroad and we get to choose. Do we align with the divine? Do we realign ourselves to higher principles? Do we purify our minds? Do we purify our words and our deeds? Or it is a free will planet. You have the choice to turn your back on this precious opportunity. So when you know that you're at the crossroad, choose wisely. As you seek to live in reverence for all of life, remember to give thanks to White Buffalo Calf Woman, the harbinger of cosmic justice, love, and peace. And she offers you this blessing today. Sagebrush, holy herb, empty my soul. Your yellow flowers are stars in the night. My ignorance and suffering are brought to light. So be it. All right. So yeah, sage definitely wants to bring the light, to those beliefs, those illusions that are ready to be dispelled. Those energies that, whether we comprehend them or not, that are blocking our way to illumination, sage is here to clear the way, to bring the light. So we have to sometimes ask for our suffering be brought to the light, or we can take the light to our suffering. And, as you already know, darkness and light cannot both exist in the same room, right? So as soon as you turn on the light switch, all the darkness disappears. And you'll see that there is actually no darkness, right? So the darkness is an illusion. The light is the truth. And we ask, Sage and all our divine helpers to assist us as we do that in our own personal lives. So next we'll go to the illumination card from the Enchanted Spell Oracle by Priestess Moon. This card is all about loved, peaceful, safe. The vibe is one of being loved, of being peaceful, of feeling safe. It's the illumination card. And it honors sage, Salvia officinalis, on it. And she also talks about burning dried sage as a well-known way to cleanse the energy of a person's aura and living space. So it has the power to protect and heal, to ground, and to inspire strength and courage. So, go ahead and indulge if you love it. I know when I had a husband, I had to wait till he went to work because he freaking hated it, and he would bitch about it. And so I waited till he went to work, and then I celebrated his removal from the house by burning my incense and all of that. So, isn't it funny? He hated it, yet he bought me this sage, right? I had to wait till he left to be able to use it. And then what was even more hilarious is after we were separated for a few months, he actually asked me for a stick of Nag Champa to burn at his house because he needed it to feel like home. I was like, you are such a son of a bitch. Here, have the whole fucking box. Shove it up your ass. All right, so anyways, lots of love this week and honoring. And I just joke because I really am in a good place with him now. And, but it's still funny that we like to joke about old things in our minds. But really, once we're ready to let go of the old stories, the old jokes, the old belief systems, the old things that we hold on to, all we really need to do is flip the switch. We need to turn on the light in our minds, in our hearts, inside of us. We need to shine light. That's all we need to do. Now, I know you sometimes get sick of me talking about the Course in Miracles every other 5 minutes. However, that was the reason I did it, to purify my mind. I was well aware that I was having trouble releasing old belief systems. And so, yeah, A Course in Miracles is like smudging and saging your mind. and it's weird and it's intense, and you do one lesson for 365 days. There's a lesson every day that you just read and do and entertain the concept that it offers you. And for whatever freaking reason, it works. And it literally breaks down your belief systems so that your mind can be purified, so that you can let in more divine light. Now, illumination and sage. Sage has been used by many cultures, obviously, around the world. We've talked about that. This herb is recognized for its curative and antiseptic properties and is known to provide insights by stimulating the third eye chakra. So the illumination card down here at the bottom of the picture depicts the priestess of illumination, a young woman with a rainbow flowing from her heart chakra. She is flanked by 2 stylized sage bushes. Really beautiful colors. And then on top of the card, like most of the card, there is illuminated text that reads, "I am sending you light, even now. Shine on, beautiful ones. You are loved." This image was designed to bring peace, healing, and love to anyone who needs it. And that's literally what, the divine energies are always saying to us. I am sending you light even now. Shine on, beautiful ones. You are loved. You are loved. You are love. And then what can you do to bless the world? Share that. Shine your light. Shine your love. Rainbow light it out of your friggin' heart chakra. Be the lighthouse. Be a walking lighthouse. And shine your beam of rainbow light on to everyone you meet. Like a Care Bear. Literally like a Care Bear, okay? Like, meow. I'm Sage Care Bear. Like, give it out, you guys. Stop holding back. Quit being stingy with your love. The illumination card says it is time to bring more light into your life. So physically, energetically, spiritually, more light. Imagine yourself filled with bright white light. So whenever you can think of it, do it. Bring in more light. Whenever you can think of it, be the lighthouse. Whenever you can think of it, share your beauty with the world. Silently, right? You can do this silently. Just beam. Shine on, beautiful ones. You are loved. So yeah, also want to purify your home energetically. We have a light spell here. Stale and dense energy can become trapped and brewed in nooks and crannies. You will want to flush it out, yes, with smoke. Illuminate all the corners of your house and brighten your life with the following house cleansing spell. And it's going to smell great. You just use your sage smudge stick, you light it, you place it into a ceramic bowl, and visit every part of the house, allowing the smoke to penetrate all of the rooms. Be sure to visit particularly dark corners and under beds. Have the doors and windows open, as this lets the smoke out along with any heavy or dull energy. When you have smudged the whole house, pour a generous amount of rock salt in a circle around the tea light. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you needed rock salt and a tea light. Then you light the candle and imagine you are drawing bright light all around you. So after you smudge, light a candle, sprinkle some salt around the candle for ceremonial purposes and purifying purposes. Envision yourself drawing bright light all around you. visualize four luminous angels surrounding your house at the corridors of north, east, south, and west. Know that your house is now full of bright, vibrant energy. Discard the salt and candle once it is burned to nothing. So, here we are with the four quarters of north, east, south, and west again. There's just such an invitation to work with this energy right now. So there's no wrong way to do it, however it resonates with you. Bring in the elements, bring in the angels, bring in the archangels, bring in any guides that you want. You could use animal spirits if you like, right? Whatever you would like to. You can use dragons. I just saw dragons. You can use dragons in the four quarters, north, east, south, and west. If you like, you can have a water dragon in the west, right? Have your air dragon in the east, your fire dragon in the south, and then an earth dragon maybe in the north. So whatever you want to do, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. I really do feel like that today, don't I? There's definitely this vibe with Sage that says whatever you want to do, you can do it however you want to do it. You can do it however you want to do it. Little rebel vibe here. Okay, so we have two cards left. We have Guidance from the Magical Herb Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy, and then we have our Witch's Kitchen. So I guess we'll do the Magical Herb one since I said it first. It's up there with Guidance, and then the Witch's Kitchen is down here it's had a sage bundle burning this whole time on it in the kitchen, and little cones of incense, but for the Witch's Kitchen table, it's actually the most clear I've ever seen it. Like, I think she cleaned it off and cleaned it with her sage vinegar, and is now purifying the space. Like, the kitchen for the Witch's Kitchen is pretty uncluttered and clean looking today. Interesting. All right, so let's go up there to the Guidance, number 24 here in the Magical Herb Oracle. 24, Salvia officinalis. So here we are back to garden sage. So this whole time we've been like white sage, garden sage, white sage, garden sage, sage brush, which must be kind of similar because it's used with similar purposes, but it did have a completely different Latin name, so I'll have to maybe look into that. But yeah, it found the table today, so we're going to honor it because sage is like, do it how you want. Now, valuable advice is being offered, says Sage, but it may not be in an obvious way. Learn through observing more closely the examples of others, or exploring the foundations and the structure of what you are focused on. So it's kind of like, be in observation mode. Things might not be in your face, obviously, but you can observe and pick up the vibe. There also is a message with this card that an authority figure is energetically connected with you and has a great deal of bearing on the present. Be on the right side of the law and be very careful with contracts, and you might also find those in positions above you will have a great impact on your concerns. Interesting. These should be favorable. You may be prompted to find a mentor, teacher, or counselor to help you move forward at this time. So this card has to do with, like, it sounds like guidance from outside of yourself in a lot of ways. So it talks a little bit about the woody evergreen perennial shrub. It can grow to about 23 inches in height. The leaves are gray-green, oblong, and soft to the touch, and the undersides are covered in fine white hairs. Yeah, garden sage is so cuddly. I love it. I mean, there's just something about it that you want to touch it. You want to touch it. The flowers are usually lavender in color, but can be purple, white, or pink. with the Salvia officinalis. And it has an element of earth. The signs that rule this planet or this plant are Pisces, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Aries. Ooh, very interesting signs. Pisces, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Aries. The planets are Jupiter and Mars. The deities connected with sage are Zeus, Jupiter, Chiron, Consus, Obatala, and Jove. Some people I don't know yet. And yes, how do we use this in magical correspondences? We use sage for purification, consecration, healing, longevity, protection, wisdom, and prosperity. So there is a sage guidance spell. Sage assists with inner awakening and spiritual growth and the gaining of wisdom. Traditionally, sage smoke is used as a smudge and has been employed in religious and spiritual ceremonies throughout history. So, if you literally just wanted to carry a leaf in your purse or your wallet, you could do so to attract money. I'm going to put the whole sage bundle in my purse. What are you talking about? Yeah, show me the money. Attract some money. To release an intention so it will manifest, write it on a sage leaf and burn it. So if you have just a random sage leaf and you want to take your Sharpie and write your intention on it very gently, and then you can burn it and release your intention as you ignite the spirit of the plant. You can also use sage and spells to help you find guidance. So you could actually send your prayer with the sage smoke to find guidance. So in this spell, the sage guidance spell, you will burn sage while calming yourself to a meditative state to open yourself to new guidance. So deep breath, everybody. Even if you don't have one leaf of sage, you can still open yourself to the guidance within. I just want you to know that. Now, if you do have a purple candle though, but for fun, if you have a purple candle, a heat-proof dish, and a few small leaves of sage and a match, you can find somewhere to sit that is quiet, and preferably outside if you can, to cast this spell. And you set the purple candle upon the heat-proof dish, and you light the candle with a match and watch it flicker and move. As you look at the flame, picture the energy and light filling the area around you, which will encourage guidance and messages to come to you. Get in that meditative, open, receptive, focused on the flame mode, and allow the energy to fill around you and encourage guidance and messages to come to you, because what you're actually doing is encouraging yourself to open up and receive. Crush and sprinkle the sage leaves slowly into the flame and say, I am quiet and listening. I am here and open. Bring me the guidance I seek. And then you open and quietly receive. Once you are finished, carefully clear the area and bury the candle under a very vigorously growing plant. Witches, they always have us burying everything. All right, we made it to the last card, the Witch's Kitchen. And I love that the cat is on the counter. Not that I love cats on the fucking counter, definitely not. But the cat is on the counter with the book open in front of her and just watching intently the sage smoke being smudged. And I love the sage cones. I love cone incense. I don't get it often enough. Because it's just so easy to stick a stick of incense. My sink is like falling apart in many places. This house is falling apart. So there's a way to stick it right by the sink, and then the ashes go right into the sink, and it's kind of fireproof safe. So I usually just do it there, but I love cone incense as well. All right, so burn safely, my little witches, with your candles and your sage and your smudging and all of that. So as you purify, make sure you're not leaving anything unattended. All right, so we've come to the end here. I don't know what the sage affirmations will be, but I'll figure them out like I always do. Why? Because I get myself into a receptive mode and I don't even have to figure out anything. They just come right in. So that's the best way to get your guidance too. Like, why are you trying to use your human mind for anything at this point? It's like ridiculously ineffective. Like, open yourself up to higher guidance. Open yourself up to your higher mind, to wisdom. The guidance is always there, just like the light and love is always flowing to you. It's never not. But are you open to it and to receive, or are you blocking it with limited beliefs and whatever else is in the way? So yeah, sage really wants to clear and purify and open and cleanse and remove darkness with the light, with the illuminating smoke, with the cleansing energy. And this is our last card, you guys, from The Witch's Kitchen by Barbara Mecklejohn Free and Flavia Kate Peters. They have a message of purification. Shrubby sage, sacred space, I'll purify and cleanse your place. Vibrations raised, no longer stuck. Assist, I shall, to bring you luck. This magic is worked with harm to none. So mote it be. There, it is done. So Sage's guidance says that you've become stagnant when it comes to making magic and have taken a dim view on what once lit you up. So if you feel like you've become dim or you're just not excited about anything, maybe you have some stale energies. Stale energies have blocked magical intentions and prevented desired outcomes. So if you've become stagnant to magic making, it's time for a little spiritual spring cleaning. Use my white variety in a cleansing ritual to smudge contaminants and get your working space ceremonially clean. My power of purification will clear and lift the energy of your altar as you waft the smoke from a lit bundle over the sacred area. My garden variation is well known as a culinary herb, for my aroma is both sweet and savory. I'm used for countless kitchen witchery spells, for as well as promoting wisdom and building emotional strength, I also assist in manifestation magic and bringing you pure luck. So I didn't realize that sage was so lucky, you know, a little sage leaf in our wallet to attract money, a little magical manifestation vibe in our life. Heck yeah, bring it. So, and it's medicinal too. They have an awesome recipe here for an oximal For a sore throat, cough, fever, you finely chop 2 cups of fresh garden sage and 2 cups of fresh rosemary. You add them to a mason jar. You pour 1 cup of honey over the herbs and stir. Then you warm 2 cups of cider vinegar and pour that over the mixture. And you store it in a dark cupboard. Cider vinegar up to the top, put a lid on. Leave it there for at least a month. This vinegar and honey, oximal. Now strain out the herbs and refrigerate the jar. When needed, mix a spoonful of spring water with the oximal and sip slowly. So it'd be good for your throat, any cough, fever, you feel like you just need a little purification. Yum yum, rosemary and sage, oximal, what's up? We need to do that too. We need to get some white sage seeds, grow our own white sage. Then we use our garden sage to make this wonderful oximal. Now they used sage in the 4 Thieves vinegar. Okay, the 4 Thieves vinegar that was used to ward off the plague in medieval times. Sage was in that. And they've used sage in herbal vinegars since the time of Hippocrates, whatever that dude is. Everyone's been loving sage since forever. There's lots of varieties, over 900 different sage varieties throughout the world. We literally talked about 3 here today, maybe 4, because we talked about pineapple sage for a hot minute. But there's so many different types of sages. Surely there's one available to you. You might even have some old ass sage in the back of the spice cupboard that you could use. You could sprinkle over your candle for your purification guidance spell. There's definitely some sage that, if you do have extra, like I'm making the vinegar to clean with, we can make herbal vinegars to heal with. There's so much that we can do with sage. We can smudge with it. We can intend with it. We can pray with it. We can purify with it. My favorite, we can illuminate with it. And let that be our guidance. Let that be our strength. And it's a big message, but sage is also saying, and you will find the immortality that you're looking for through the light. So as we purify our minds and we purify our energy and we allow the truth to shine into us, we will know who we truly are. We will know that we are the divine. We are not just the ego mind. We are the divine. And that's kind of the big energy that we brushed upon here, ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. So anyways, I can hear my kid hacking up there because I've been burning sage all morning. All right, you guys, on that note, our herb of the week, sage. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our herb of the week, sage, and I dedicate them all to you. Thank you. I am purified. I am guided. I am illuminated. I am strengthened by the light of the divine. I clear the way for the highest good to shine. I am loved. I release the ego's negativity and the need for time. I am purified. I am guided. I am illuminated. I am strengthened by the light of the divine. I clear the way for the highest good to shine. I am loved. I release the ego's negativity and the need for time. So be it. guys, well, there we go. I guess we don't need time anymore. I don't know. Like, that was last one. I was like, really? And I looked up and I saw our sage warrior there with the message of immortality. And she was like, really? Oh, yeah. We're like really almost done with time. And you're like, what? And I'm like, what? But we're like, oh, when we think about how in eternity, we don't need time because we just are. And we're like, oh my gosh, we can kind of feel what Sage is starting to bring in for us. It's intense, you guys. That's why it's like, be in your sacred place, be in your open, strong warrior place, because some of the things that some of these herbs want to teach us will rattle our egoic minds, will literally burn up the illusions that we've built for ourselves. So it's kind of like there's this vibe like, get ready. If you are ready and willing, you're at a crossroads. You're at a beautiful opportunity of awakening. Do you want it or not? It's up to you. All right, so anyways, you guys, regardless, burn some sage, clear your space. Make everybody hack and cough around you, but it might actually be very good for them. Get that stagnant energy moving, get yourself purified, and yeah, clear the way for the highest good to shine.